Hello again, I am John Bob, and welcome to another episode of F1 Manager 23 here on PS5. Tonight it's round 22, the penultimate round of our second season. We're heading to Las Vegas. So apologies for the late start tonight. I've been kind of struggling with a bit of a migraine for most of the day, and tried to doze off and get a little bit of sleep to see if that would help shift it a bit. And overslept. So apologies for that. But yeah, here we are, round 22. The last but one race of our second season here with Mercedes. I was going to say McLaren for a second then. We have new champions. We are obviously the Constructors' Championship. We have obtained that title, taking that from Red Bull this season. And George is the new Drivers' World Championship. The eagle-eyed among you may have possibly spotted a slight change to the format of the thumbnail. So well done to those who didn't spot it. For those who haven't spotted it, you will do. Now that you know that there's a change, you'll know exactly what to look for. Right. Let's see, it's the day of the Grand Prix. We've got 14 million in the bank. Let's see where our car sits going into Vegas. And, ooh, yeah, that's not so good, is it? 4th, 9th and 6th in terms of speed, acceleration, DRS. Still very strong in the cornering. Our dirty air tolerance has dropped down to 16th. Ooh. And Lewis's car is going to be a little bit worse, I think. Now that is interesting. Lewis has got the quickest car, but does not have the same level of downforce. So that is very interesting. We've obviously got a very different sort of amalgamation of parts on our cars at the moment, as we're trying to just get to the end of the season without completely bankrupting the team. We cannot make new parts unless we go down the the emergency manufacturing route, which is horrendously expensive, due to us already breaching the cost cap, and I'm very loath to further compound that breach of the cost cap by continually extending how much we've gone over by, thus increasing the size of the fine that we're getting every month, and potentially also risking our reputation in terms of a manager as well. So yeah, this should be a chance for Lewis to maybe finish his season off on a high after the disappointment of losing his championship. Let's set some targets for tonight's Grand Prix. So the incentive is 2 in the top 4. Both cars will get into Q3, both will get into Q2. The incentive is the fastest lap. We're going to guarantee 2 in the top 4, and then new finish position streak starts tonight. 2 in the top 6 for 2 races, and we've got 2 races left to get our qualifying position streak done as well. So let's see how we do. Let's head off to Vegas.
Welcome to the Silver State of Nevada for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Here we are in the entertainment capital of the world as Formula One prepares to take over the Las Vegas Strip. As night falls, the stars will be coming out, and we're in for a spectacular show, both on and off the track. Formula One's highest speed street circuit promises incredible action up and down the Las Vegas Strip. Racing at night means track temperatures will be lower, so data from Free Practice 2 could be crucial to managing both qualifying and the Grand Prix. How will the British driver George Russell fare this weekend? He was sensational in the last race, he took home the win and set the bar very high indeed. Okay then, let's get to it.
Yeah, set the bar very high, so high that he won the championship. It's pretty hard to top that. So, yeah. Right, let's say hello to the chat. We've got Horrific in the chat, Marcel, Mr. Watter, good to see you guys. Zane's here as well. Are we finishing the season today or tomorrow? Tomorrow. Tomorrow's final race of the season. So, just the one race tonight. Right. We are going to put Teo in the car, and we're going to put him in for George tonight. We're going to give George the first session off, you know, as a reward for winning the title. So let's put some soft tyres on. Let's see, Vegas is about 16 laps on the run plan, so we're going to extend that to 24, just in case we do nail this. Let's start with the car parts. So we're going to go with that engine and that ERS, and we'll go with that gearbox, just in case we have a, you know, a little hello with the wall. Don't want to risk damaging the remaining good parts that we've got. We'll save those for the races. They can damage them there instead. Right, setup for Teo / George. Let's go with a 1, a 10.5, a 1.9, a 2.95 and a 0.65. There we go. Right, Lewis's car. Let's start off by putting in that engine. Plenty to choose from here. None of them are amazing, but plenty to choose from. We'll go with that ERS. And that gearbox. Okay, and let's see. We'll go 16 laps, drop the pace. There we go, and we'll go with a 0 front wing, a 10.5, a 1.9, a 3.05, and a 0.6. Let's see how that goes. Evening AYZ. Right, let's send them to the track. So I don't think it's going to happen, but it'd be curious to see whether or not when George gets in the car in the next session, whether he has the number 1 on his radio car check. Now that he is mathematically crowned the champion. Don't think it will. I don't think that will actually happen until next season, and we're not going to be around to see that. We're moving on, but yeah, kind of curious. You're really happy that I got Lewis to win the championship. Well, yeah, that was last season. Last night, George won won the championship, beating Lewis to take it from him. So, yeah, we have a brand new Drivers' World Champion who is sitting out the first session. He will be back for practice 2. Let's put the drivers into save mode. There we go. Speed them up. So this will be an interesting chance to see. Well, it's kind of difficult. Again, the cars aren't balanced. They're on different spec parts with different performance levels of their engines. But it is kind of a chance to see the difference in pace between Porsche and the driver he's going to be replacing next season. It's not obviously, as I say, an even test. I mean, in terms of the engine, we're looking at 40% engine in car 1, and Lewis's car has engine at 68%, which is, you know, is still just above the power loss threshold. So, big difference in performance between the two engines. But
balance check.
Also, Hamilton's got the a much faster car in terms of straight line speed. You know, thanks to the different configuration of parts. Right, let's check out the setups. We're at 96% for Lewis. That's really strong. 86 for Teo. So let's call Teo in and start making some tweaks. Ooh, now I only have 10.5 setups, so this is going to be brand new. Okay, I don't know which way to go. Let's go with a 10. Do I just want to do that? Yeah, I'm just going to make that one change and see what happens. We'll be fine on those tyres again, just need to change the run plan. And send them back out again. Very, very quick turnaround there, because all we did was make a quick wing change rather than anything else. Lewis will be finishing his run in a lap or two. There we go. And all we need to do is correct the toe. Well, we'll need to make a slight adjustment to the camber as well, I think. Let's see, which way do I want to go? I'm going to push the toe up. I'm going to go there, so 0.75. See what happens there. And this will take longer. This is a proper adjustment, so this will take 4 to 5 minutes to make that change. There we go, that's done. Let's get him back on track. Yeah, where is Farah tonight? Is he still trucking? Alright, there we go. Big improvement for Teo. Got him up to 95% just by changing that rear wing. So we went the right way by dropping that wing to 10 rather than pushing it up to 11. So now we just need to make some little refinements. Okay, I'm going to drop the front wing angle to 0.5. And I'm going to do that. And let's see how that works. Okay, and we just need to put a little less fuel in the car. I'm not going to be sending him back out this session. We'll get those changes locked in, ready for George. Yeah, I saw a YouTube trailer, you know, on my feed, you know, an official PlayStation trailer for Truck Driver: The American Dream. And I'm like, ooh. And then I hit play, and it came up Sedesco, and I immediately pressed stop. And I was like, nope, that game's going to be shit. And I have yet to see a game from Sedesco that is actually worth playing. They're terrible. Ah, there's Para.
Let us know what your thoughts are.
93 for Lewis. So we actually went the wrong way with the changes to his car. Gone down a little bit. Yeah, we went the wrong way with the toe, so we can correct that by just going the opposite direction. And go to there. Alright, there we go. Practice one is done. Take Teo out of the car, put George back in. And let's see if he does have the number 1 on his car. I don't think he will. Like I said, it's still the first season. It's still, you know, it's still the season that he won the title rather than the start of a season with him as the champion. So trucking game not great. Yeah, no, like I said, I saw the official PlayStation channel putting out one of their trailers, you know, that they do for all the, you know, for a load of games, and that was in there for some reason, and I was like, ooh, a new truck driving game. I wonder if that's any good. And I pressed play, and Sedesco came up, and I immediately said, nope, it's going to be shit, and stop watching the video. I didn't go any further than Sedesco. That's all I needed to see. Right, we need George to run long, so we're going to run him for 34 laps of fuel, which is let's go 35, just on the safe side. There we go. We'll put hard tyres on for him in this section. We've already made the adjustments to the car. Lewis is going to be on mediums this session. We're going to run him for 25 laps of fuel. That might be a bit too much, but we'll see. And let's send them back to the track and see if George does have the number one. No, he does not. As I say, I didn't think he would do because, you know, he's not actually officially been awarded the championship yet. Plus, they wouldn't make that change until, well, in reality, they wouldn't make the change till the following season. So we won't actually get to see George with the number one on the car while we're in charge of the team, but obviously we'll see it from a rival perspective next season. Speaking of, the poll is now up on the community tab of the channel. I've given you 3 teams to choose from as to who we're going to go for next season. Based on their current standings with 2 races to go, it's Ferrari in 4th, and then you've got McLaren down in 6th, and AlphaTauri, who are 10th and last in the Constructors' Championship without any points at all. So, do you want to see me get Ferrari back up to the top? Do you want to see me try and rebuild McLaren? Or do you want me to see if I can take the smaller of the 2 Red Bull teams and go after the sister team and slap them in the face a little bit with the inferior version of their car? The choice is yours. That poll will be up on the channel until around about 8 o'clock Monday evening, just as we go live to start season 3. So you've got the rest of the week and the weekend to make your decision. You can obviously, if you have cast a vote, you can change your mind until the poll closes. You will have that option, I think. I think you get the option to change your mind. I don't think it's a permanent, one choice and that's it. So if you haven't already voted, then you can do now, or if you want, you can wait until the final race of the season, see how the final standings go, and make a decision from there. But make sure you do cast your vote before Monday evening. Why bother? Jim? Ferrari will win despite it not being the best option. Well, last I looked, which was a couple hours ago, McLaren was comfortably the most popular choice, ahead of Ferrari and AlphaTauri. And AlphaTauri and Ferrari were pretty close to each other. So let's have a quick look now. Let me go onto my channel page. Go to the community tab. Let's have a look. So currently 55 votes have been cast. Ferrari have 24% of the vote. McLaren have 58% of the vote, and AlphaTauri have 18% of the vote. So McLaren are comfortably head and shoulders looking to be the most popular choice at the moment. But as I say, there is still time to cast your vote if you haven't already. And that poll will be up until Monday evening, so plenty of time to make your decision. Right, 95% for George, so he made a slight improvement, but still a little bit of work to do. 1% off for Lewis. That's the easy fix. And I just had a refund from PayPal for $44.99, which is the refund for City Skylines. That has been automatically refunded because of the delay. Everyone who had pre-ordered the game on consoles got an automatic refund, and mine has just gone through. So anyone else who pre-ordered the game should be getting their refund around about now, or has already received it. So just have to wait for that to be relisted on the store, which won't happen until after the new year. What happened? Did the Cyberpunk debacle scare them? No, I just think, you know, they realised that it was going to take them longer than anticipated to polish the game up on PC, which would leave them no time to polish up the game on the console. So, you know, rather than release the game in a state where it just wasn't ready, they decided to wait. And while I'm disappointed, I do applaud the decision because it's the right decision. It's nothing worse than getting really hyped up for a game, getting your hands on it, and it's just an awful buggy mess, and that does more to damage the reputation of a game than, you know, getting all hyped up and then having to wait an extra 3 or 4 months before you get your hands on the game, but the game runs as you hope it would. You know, if the game is a disaster when it launches, there's a strong possibility that those players will not come back. So it just makes sense to take that little bit extra time. And like I said, I'm disappointed, but I understand the choice, and I do think it was the right decision. Right, there we go. Session 2 is in the books. Oh, wow. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 penalties going into this race. Let's see. I think at least one of those might be a carryover from the last race. We shall see. You've always said that you'd rather wait for quality, and yet you continue to buy terrible games, Farrah. Knowing they're going to be terrible, but because they have a nice easy platinum. So you have no sympathy from them. And we're going to go mediums for George in this session here. Let's get him on track for 30 laps. And 18 laps of soft tyres for Lewis. We are good to go, so send them out for practice 3. won the trucking game. What, you won it in a competition? Someone sent you a key. Well done.
Just check everything okay?
Stand by.
Anyone who is a PC player who has yet to get a copy of the game, it is currently on sale on Steam for around 40% off. That went on sale earlier today, I think. Not sure how long that sale's going to go on for, but I did see a post of it, I think, on Twitter earlier today.
Let's have a balance check when you
There we go. We are 100% with Lewis. 96% with George, so we're still slightly off. Now, I'm going to call him in because this is a brand new setup.
Very, very good job, guys.
This is one that I don't have in the book. It's our first 10 rear wing setup, and I want to get this one right. I think that's going the wrong way, but we'll give it a go. There wasn't a big enough change. I'm going to make another change to that setup before I send him out, because I just don't think that's going to be it. I think I'm going to have to push the camber to there, and then that's going to have to fight all the way back. I'm going to push it right to the edge there. Let's go with that instead. Right, Lewis is in, so let's check the book, because this is a slight variation to one that's already in there, so I will add this. So get the pen to work. So 0.0, 10.5, 19. 3 and 0.4. There we go. So that's George back out until the flag, and fingers crossed those extra little changes that I made will actually get this car to 100% now. fire off. Just waiting on that last piece of feedback. Please tell me I got this right. No! Oh, way off.
Negative. Happy.
Alright, well, we'll run into the flag and then we'll have one last stab at it just before qualifying.
Checkered flag is out.
So that'll be about 96% for George on his track knowledge. 97 in the end. Managed to get him very close. 96 overall on his prep. Maybe we can boost that slightly. If we can nail the setup satisfaction, we might be able to get that up as high as 99. Not that it'll make much difference. You can see he's comfortably into his very high confidence bracket for quali, and so that's pretty good.
Will practice pay off for the drivers? Well, we're about to find out in qualifying.
Qualifying is when F1's most glamorous street circuit really comes into its own, with cars on full throttle down a huge section of the Las Vegas Strip. Getting tyres into the optimal temperature range will be crucial to setting a good time here.
Karun, if we could perhaps talk about Lewis for a moment. How do you think he's feeling?
There's a huge gulf in quality between them and their teammate right now. There's no way that they're not feeling the pressure of that.
Well, we're certainly ready in the commentary box. The drivers are getting ready down in the pit lane, and it's time for qualifying.
Well, I'm guessing you really enjoyed that little intro there, Farah. Okay, so yeah, that needs to be about there then, which means that's going to have to come back to there. So that is going to need to be about there. Maybe even there. Yeah, I'm going to go there. I'll screenshot that just in case that's correct. And if it's not, I can make the adjustment. In fact, I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to go as far as I can. I'm going to go up to 0.8, because then I know that's the absolute limit on the toe. Anything further than that is outside of the tolerance completely. So if I'm 1% out, I know I need to click just once to the left to make that 0.75. If it's 98, I need to make 2 clicks and it'll be a 0.7. And then I can record that in the book. So let me screenshot that instead. You might have to watch that bit a few more times. I thought I thought you might really get a kick out of that. Right, let's see. We're going to go with the 83% engine, and we're going to go with the 69% ERS and the 88% gearbox. There we go. And for Lewis, 83%, 79%, and 87%. There we go. Right. Let's send them to the track. So there is our new world champion.
We should do some work on the brakes.
Yeah, copy.
Yeah, they definitely have improved the the Perspex material quality.
This is outlap normal.
Yep.
That would have been bright white before the last patch, before 1.8. Still not perfect, but it's better. Go back to 100% enjoyment of these streams. Well, you say that, Lewis has got a better chance of winning tonight than George, I think, given the fact that he's got a higher top speed in his car. Although George does have more downforce through the corners as a way of the parts have been distributed amongst the two cars. So it could be interesting. There'll be sectors where Lewis is going to be quicker. George will probably be quicker in the middle sector. Oh, that's very magnanimous of you there, Farah, to give him a pass for 2 races.
Good to go.
And circuit's all clear. You're good to go.
John is starting to really like the driving he's seen from the past couple of races. Well, thank you, John. I appreciate that. Nice and tidy there from George. Oh, little lift, got held up there. Didn't realise just how long that first sector was, so yeah, definite advantage for George in the first sector. Let's see if Lewis is quicker in the middle sector. He should be. And he is. And he'll be quicker in the third sector as well, I would imagine. There we go, 134.9 for George.
Get that delta negative. And we will box end of this lap.
Copy.
Oh no, Russell still is quicker in the final sector, but you can see how much time he lost in that middle sector getting held up there. He is 3.5 tenths slower. Somebody is going quicker than Lewis in the background though, in the middle sector, and it is Charles Leclerc. I did wonder, looks like he might have a brand new engine in this Grand Prix weekend. We did see him having a penalty in practice, so that might be the reason. Perez is quicker than both of our cars as well. We're through to the next session with times like that, so we don't need to go back out again. And there's Max, just half a second faster than everybody else. Wow, that's a big gulf. We know Russell's going to go quicker. He did get held up on his first run. So there is more pace in his car. Whether there's more pace in his car compared to Lewis is another matter. They should be pretty evenly matched, I think. As I say, George will definitely have the advantage in the first sector with the higher downforce levels. But Lewis, with the higher top speed, should be faster in the middle and potentially the third sector as well. who are we saying goodbye to? Both of the McLarens. They are out, along with Joe Ocon is way down there, and Hulkenberg, who also has a penalty. So there's quite a few cars in front here that are going to get demoted behind Ocon, so that will give him a slightly higher starting place in the Grand Prix. But yeah, that's disappointing for Esteban, down at 18th. And look at that, we did get George's car set up perfectly with those last minute changes. Fantastic stuff. Right, let's get the scrub tyres back on the car. Again, just need to do a single run. We'll send Lewis out first this time. And that George.
Just be careful with the warm-up.
They really need to improve that exit from the pits for next season.
Critical. Copy.
That's very clunky. Just slowly drifting onto the racing line and then suddenly snapping and accelerating. So, Schumacher and Ricciardo have both made it into Q2. Could we finally see some points for AlphaTauri this weekend? The only team yet to score any points. And Schumacher was good enough for P12 in that first session.
It's all clear. So you're good to go.
Track is all clear. Good to go.
Right, so both drivers are starting their flying laps. As Lewis crosses the line, he hits the timing beam. Gets out of the way. I don't think it held up Lewis there. You see it diving way off the racing line to the harsh behind us. And the Red Bull does the same in front of us. Alright, George potentially going to get held up here in the twiddly bit of the first sector. Yeah, got caught in the chicane. That's going to hurt his time all the way through here. So it's going to be a slow first sector for George. We might potentially have to run him again. Looked like he lost quite a bit of time behind the Red Bull there. I'm going to guess that he's lost probably a second on this lap. So Lewis makes the run for the line. And goes a 1:34.2. Let's see.
So box.
Where is George going to end up? Oh, no. Didn't lose as much time as I thought.
Currently P2.
Again, nearly 4
Yeah, we're
tenths
happy
down,
with that.
just like it was in the last session. That should be enough to get him through, but we'll prep the car just in case we have to send it back out again. We'll see what the rest of the grid does. Schumacher on the cusp of getting through, but expect to see a big improvement from Yuki. I think we're safe. I'm not going to send George back out. And he drops to 7th as I say that, so starting to suddenly doubt myself. Let's see. Bottas gets up to 8th place. Wow. At the end of the season here. So, who is on a flying lap? Schumacher, Albon, Ricciardo. They are the drivers we need to keep an eye on. So, let's go to Schumacher. Where is Albon? Is Albon in front? It is. Okay, so we'll watch Albon, and in fact, actually, Ricciardo is going to be the first of the drivers to cross the line. This is an improvement lap from Danny Rick. Is it good enough? Oh, just misses out on the top 10. Goes up to 11th. Here comes Albon. And now Albon goes up to P11. What about Schumacher? Does not improve. So just Yuki left, and Yuki is boxing. So Yuki's already set his time. He is out and a long way off. So we're going to say goodbye to both Williams, both AlphaTauris, and Kevin Magnussen's Haas in this session. Bottas into the top 10.
So we are safe.
What a drive for Bottas. I wonder if he got a slipstream or if that is just pace in that car. It's got to be a slipstream, really, to be that far ahead. No penalty. So... Bleh, bleh. Excuse me. Right, let's just have a quick look at Bottas. Yeah, it's not running a new engine, so he must have had a slipstream. Sorry, I carried on sneezing for a moment then, so I had to mute the mic. Right. Final session. We're going to do 1 lap on the old tyres and then 2 laps on the new tyres. Carlos Sainz is first onto the track. George shook in a nice slipstream off the back of him. Lewis is going to have Alonso right behind him.
We'll focus on the brakes a bit.
Yep. Let's just focus on the outlap.
Understood.
little bit sneezy. And the whole field is on the track. Hopefully we won't get any issues with traffic.
Circuit is all clear ahead now. Good to go.
So we've got clear track now. Good to go.
So, let's see what George can do with a clean run. He'll have the benefit of a slipstream off the back of sights as well, so this could potentially be good enough for pole. Although that's still going to be a tall order given the pace of Verstappen's Red Bull. Definitely looks like we've closed the gap to sights a little bit there in that first sector. He is quicker, he's gone purple. Again, that Ferrari looked like it just got a little bit closer. It's going to be a very quick lap from George here. A 1:33.6. That is a very quick lap. That's going to take some beating.
And we will box end of this lap.
Hamilton nearly 7/10 slower.
Yeah.
That slipstream was mighty
E2.
for George there.
Okay, so we're happy with that lap. Box, and call the car.
Understood.
Let's get them back into the garage, slap on some new tyres. There goes George, and there goes Lewis. Should just about get both of those runs in. It's going to be tight.
Wake up those rear brakes.
Covering.
And yeah, such was the power of that slipstream that you can see that Verstappen is 4/10 slower than George. Although I think Verstappen might be a bit quicker on the next run. I don't know if George can top that time unless he gets another slipstream. And I don't think Lewis is going to get anywhere near it without a slipstream of his own. Don't know if Russell's going to improve his time at all. Lewis probably will now that he's onto some brand new tyres. Plus higher confidence level thanks to that first lap. George is right on the cusp of hitting peak confidence. So George will probably improve in sector 1, but without that slipstream I can't see him improving in sectors 2 and 3. start to the lap? Can we get round before traffic starts heading out? No, here's the answer, as Perez trundles out of the garage, and so does Charles Leclerc.
And circuit's all clear. Good to go.
Just those two. Sainz now exiting the garage, along with Alonso and Verstappen. I think George just about got away with not being held up by the Ferrari there. No improvement in the first sector though. Lewis does improve, but it's not enough to go purple. Did Lewis get held up by Leclerc coming onto this long strip? I don't know. No improvement for George in the middle sector. Lewis has improved again. As I said, I don't think Russell was going to improve on this lap without the slipstream, because it was such a good lap. And does not improve. Lewis. 134.1. He's only half a second behind George now, so he did close the gap by 1.6 tenths. So they can have a cool down lap and then go again. So Lewis pull out of the way to let Perez through, and now do the same for Leclerc. Peak confidence for Lewis. George was unable to improve in any sector, so did not get a gain on his confidence. Lewis is just drifting slightly there, so he might not actually start the lap in peak confidence by the time he gets around. Might not actually get around in time at all. It's going to be close. There's no more traffic in the way, so it's a straight run. I don't know if we're going to have enough time to do it though. I'm going to have to take control of Lewis to speed him up. I'll do the same with George as well.
So happy to push now.
Copy.
Alright, the drive for the line. It's going to be close. I don't think Lewis is going to get there in time. George just makes it, Lewis does not. So George will get another run. Lewis will head to the pits. Weren't quite quick enough. He got held up too much pulling over for traffic. That goes back to the warning I gave the day of the patch a few races ago, where I said that you will have to potentially add that little bit of extra time for drivers having to pull over and crawl to almost a stop to let other traffic through on their cool-down laps. That has proved to be the case here. George has gone purple in the first sector. And this is what could have been for Lewis. Alonso is up to 4th. No improvement in the middle. Don't think it's going to improve in the final either, but is that first sector enough to maybe just increase that lap gap just a little bit? No, it's not. I didn't think it would be. Right. Charles Leclerc is on an in-lap. So there we go. That is the grid for the race. We've got Russell on pole, Verstappen second, Hamilton third. Then it's the two Astons of Alonso and Stroll. Then Perez, Leclerc, who starts 7th but has a penalty for a new engine, so will drop further down the order. Then Sainz, then Gasly, who also has a penalty, and Bottas rounds out the top 10.
The excitement is building, there's electricity in the air, but there's no surprise in that. It's race day.
Las Vegas is a super fast street circuit, and the long straight along the dazzling strip could be a tempting and yet challenging place to try and overtake. The weather is beautifully clear tonight, which is one less problem for the teams to face. Of course, that doesn't take anything away from the unpredictability of this race.
So let's see how the teams tackle the race at the Las Vegas Grand Prix.
All right, let's take a look at strategy. So the one stop is a 1:22.12. Swapping out the mediums for softs is 2 seconds slower. It's 4 seconds slower for the one stop, but we can probably reduce that a little bit. No, we can't. Okay, so do we just go with the one stop and look after the tyres, or do we go on the full attack? I think I'm going to split the strategies here. I'm going to go with the one stop for George, and I'm going to go with the slightly more aggressive two stop with Lewis. And see what happens. We're going to take 3 laps of fuel out. Oh, no. Going the wrong way. There we go. You thought there was a sprint race? No. Brazil was the final sprint race of the season. And what a sprint it was. Just utter chaos. Right, there we go. So, cars are set. Let's send them to the grid.
The city of Las Vegas is abuzz with excitement as our race draws ever closer. And here's George Russell settling in for the race.
They start in P1, but will they be able to stay there? The first corner could be so crucial.
Right, let's get to it then. We're all ready to go in Las Vegas. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Alright, looks like Max is on the softs, and he gets up the inside of George into turn 1. real mixture of hard and soft and medium runners up and down the grid there. Leclerc only dropped down to 11th place. Schumacher's up to 9th. Briefly, Albon retakes the position. So Schumacher actually currently in the points right now. We could see points for AlphaTauri here. Might need a little bit of help. England Victor. One is done. And I am going to tell George to just pull over and let Lewis through. Whoa, we got hit.
It's quite a bit of rear lock.
Right, we're down at turn 5. The wheels just lock up there. And they
no, we
ended
didn't
up
get
their
hit. We
own
just
passenger.
had to take avoiding action. So, disaster for George. Did he damage his car? He did.
And
Damaged his front wing, and I don't think I have a spare.
We've had a crash. What happened there? So we're heading now into turn 5.
Oh, George, you muppet. I'm right up against the barrier. I have not damaged my wing. Right.
Okay,
front gear. Oh. I don't think I've got a spare front wing. No, I don't. So that's George having to carry that damage all the way through the Grand Prix. It's only minor. He's just dinged one of his end plates. Try and get a shot to see just how extensive the damage is. There we go. It's just a minor bit of damage to the front left. Yeah. It's not massive damage, so hopefully that won't take too much of his pace away.
DRS has been enabled.
Right, Lewis needs to get a wriggle on. 3 seconds off the back of Max.
Push and hold, overtake.
But has now got battery to deploy, where Max should be pretty much out of battery now. George is a long way off the lead, but is closing in on Tsunoda. And we should see Lewis break away from Alonso on this lap and significantly reduce the gap to Max. So he's going to go with him. Couldn't quite get away from him from DRS. It is a very long DRS straight.
Let's just manage these tyres.
You are the fastest man on track.
This needs to be a strong sector here for Lewis to break away from Alonso, so we'll give him a little bit of extra tyre.
Close up.
Break that 1 second. George is now in DRS range. We'll see if we can get some moves done for him. He's still in very low confidence, but we are going to put him into high confidence overtaking, or high risk overtaking.
Let's go for it.
Understood.
Just going to need some lift and coast.
Yep.
Let's don't think about getting the pack back up.
Understood.
Charge the pack.
Right, Stroll got past Alonso. Those two are going to swap places a little bit. Keep an eye on Russell for a little while now. See if we can get him through the field nice and quickly. Put Lewis into fuel saving mode as well now.
And think about increasing the lift and coast just a little.
Understood.
I wonder, is Max doing a one-stop? Soft to hard, or is he doing the two-stop that Lewis is doing? Need to get a little bit more battery back into George's car, otherwise he's going to really struggle making these overtakes. Piastri drops down to 19th. He's about to get overtaken by George. So have a look at the inside of turn 1. Gets the move done. There we go. So that is George's confidence a little bit higher. It's just low now as opposed to very low. still 100% enjoying this stream, Farah? I'm wondering if I took too much fuel out. I'm just thinking back to the safety cars that we had last season. They're definitely influenced by decisions to take that much fuel out. Like a big mistake for Zhou there. George just squeezing up the inside of Yuki there. Getting a slipstream off the back of Zhou as well, which has helped. And finally completes the move. He's now going to have a run at Zhou as well. There we go. So Russell up to 17th. And his driver confidence has improved to medium. I was going to try and throw it around the outside of Ricciardo there. That would have been a very risky move. Go, that is 16th place. So back into harvest mode. Got to be careful. Can't push the tyres for Russell, given that big lockup he had on that one. It has damaged his tyres. Probably going to have to drop his tyre pace down as well, actually. Just try and claw some of that back while he's charging.
Reduce your speed.
Oh, what a lunge on the braking. And unfortunately, I was not quick enough to react. Give him some battery to complete that move, so he will stay in 16th. Give Lewis just a little bit more tyre for a lap or two.
Just push.
Give him some deployment as well. He hasn't got much battery in the car, but we'll see if we can close that gap down to max in a little bit. Max is one-stopping, then we're in trouble because I don't think we're going to be able to catch and pass him. Right, I'm going to throw a decision open to you guys here. Do you want me to switch George onto a two-stop and go medium, soft, soft, or do you want me to keep him on the medium to hard one-stop? Let me know in the chat.
So we are low on battery at the moment. Let's just work on getting that pack back up.
Closed the gap to Max a little bit, and then we ran out of battery, and Max just pulled away again. At this point, he's nothing to lose. Well, he has the rest of his front wing to lose, and if that happens, he's kind of screwed. But gets the move done there on Hulkenberg, so he's at the 15th now. If we do stick on this strategy, we've got to be very careful with these medium tyres in this first stint. That, or if we push them, we've got to be extra careful on the hards to stretch them so that they can go the distance. If we go onto a two-stop, then it's theoretically a little bit slower. It's going to be all alone on track, so he's not going to get DRS, but he will be able to run at whatever pace he can and potentially get some undercuts done.
Push and hold, overtake.
Okay.
Lewis is into his pit window already, or just about to go into his pit window. So at the moment we're kind of scheduled to stop around lap 22. We'll probably stop a lap or two earlier than that. So you've got about 6 laps to let me know what you want me to do with George before we have to make a decision. Oh, nearly got them both there, and in the end does manage to stick it to Kevin. So that's 14th place now. And George is getting back up towards his starting level of confidence. He's in the high bracket right now. shapes up to make a move on Gasly. And gets that move done. So 13th place now for George. Once again, he's out of battery. But he is now just below his starting level of confidence. Decent recovery so far. Going to up his tyre pace because I need to make sure he doesn't get dropped and left vulnerable to Gasly on the next DRS straight. Hopefully we can close the gap, get into range ourselves. Tight, we might just miss it. I think we just missed it. Did. Gasly is going to close up on us.
So it's hammer time.
Yep.
If there's a safety car, he can pull off a two-stop. Well, he should be able to pull off a two-stop anyway. It's just a question of how far up the grid he's going to end up. As Sainz makes a move on Stroll for third. DRS range, so we can calm the tyres down again.
If we could just drop back a bit.
Understood.
Poor Piastri, his stats have been so bad that he is 5 seconds off the back of Zhou. I mean, I know the McLaren is a bad car at the moment, but even so. George's tyres just struggling to keep up with Ocon at the moment. He's not going to make it, so
The pack.
stop the push. If we get overtaken by Gasly, so be it. We'll recharge and go again. We'll box Lewis next lap. Perez now gets himself up into third place.
Okay, so we'll box.
In the box is that.
Last chance, guys, to let me know if you want me to stay on the one stop or switch to a two stop for George. We are running out of time to make that decision.
So Verstappen in the pit lane now.
So Max boxing on the same lap. That to me suggests he's two stopping. Let's see what tyres he goes on to. Good stop. Very good stop.
So need to bring it in nice and steady.
Oh, Max has gone hard, so
Just
Max
make the
might
right
be
line,
one stopping.
exit.
Oh, Lewis gets out just in front of that battle with Schumacher and Leclerc. So Mr. Water says two stop.
Sure, keep these tyres in good nick.
Understood.
Just charge the pack.
Understood. Need more power.
Let's just keep our heads down.
And John says two stop as well. Okay, so looking like it's going to be the two stop. Let's really go for it with these tyres with George then.
Just stay close to him.
Easy.
Oh, Lewis overtaken twice. Tyres not quite up to temps yet. As long as we don't drop behind Bottas and Ocon. Schumacher's having a great race so far. Currently in sixth, ahead of Charles Leclerc, who has got a much faster car. Holding him back. There's George. And that battery back up. Right, tyres are up to temp for Lewis now.
Use the overtake.
And And we're going to use those tyres aggressively here to make this overtake.
Pick up the pace.
Yep.
Don't want Verstappen to get too far ahead.
Pull to one side in places, that will help.
Understood.
Push and hold, overtake.
Yeah, copy.
I'm just making a bit of a meal of this.
Box, box.
Copy, box.
It's going to be brave. Nope. Thought about the lunge, thought better of it. And he is going to try and sneak up the inside. No, again, thinks better of it. As Russell makes the move on Norris in the background there. It's not working out for Lewis at the moment. Stuck behind the battle ahead of him. Can't get past as they keep swerving to make the overtake in front. It blocks Lewis.
Charge that pack.
And we've got a few cars all boxing. Max is back into the lead already. 2.2 seconds for George. Not an amazingly quick time, but it's decent. He has jumped Ocon. Lewis trying to get up the inside of Mick.
Plugging away.
And does so. So that should give him a clean run at Sainz. Sorry, at Leclerc on the long back straight down the strip.
Let's just manage these tyres.
How can you develop the car as much as I have? Look to see where your car is weak and apply your upgrades in that direction. That's really all I can say. There's no right way. There's no one clear, obvious way to upgrade your car. You need to just see where it's weak and work to improve those areas.
Stops are starting to happen now.
It is a risk to overdevelop, to put too much into developing expenses, because you can end up breaching the cost cap, and that then shuts down any chance you've got of doing further development or research for the following season. So while this Mercedes car is quick, it's still not quite as quick as it could have been compared to the competition. We were mighty at the start of the season. We have slipped a little bit as the season has gone on. And we haven't been able to do any research for the past month and a half, 2 months, because of breaching the cost cap. So there may be a slight knock-on effect on next year's car. Well, there will be a knock-on effect, it's just how severe it will be. Right, George is up into maximum peak confidence right now, thanks to these overtakes. And he's going to get Ricciardo here.
Charge the pack.
Hamilton's got past Leclerc. But he's now 11 seconds off the back of Max. We lost out so much time struggling to get past Schumacher and Sainz that it really hurt our strategy there.
Just reduce your speed.
Very straightforward, easy as you like pass on Ricciardo there. We're going to need a safety car or a red flag, I think, to beat Max tonight. His car is just brutally quick here. And we still have a good chunk of fuel savings to go as well. Doesn't help. Amazed we haven't had any kind of big incident yet. As Alonso and Leclerc both hit the pits. So those guys must be one-stopping. Schumacher's in as well. Hey, George needs to jump a couple of these guys while they're boxing, if at all possible. Well, ahead of Schumacher. Behind Leclerc, who's gone onto hard tyres. Need to get this move done quickly. And around the outside, Leclerc's tyres not up to temperature yet. There we go, George up to 8th place. Lewis in clear air now in 3rd place and lapping faster than Gasly. And has got tyre to spare, so let's increase his tyre wear.
Pick up the pace.
Yep.
There's Alonso just blurring his way through the top of the screen. And Lewis is nearly 2 seconds a lap faster than Perez at the moment, who is yet to stop. He is one-stopping. See, Max, what time is he doing? He's doing 1:38.8. He's still 0.4 of a second faster than Lewis, despite being on a slower compound of tyre. Yeah, I don't think we're going to have any chance of beating Max without a safety car. too much fuel out, and it's hampering our race pace.
Perez is in. Let's just work on getting that pack back up.
I was just getting ready to get a DRS overtake and some fuel in the back, some battery in Lewis's car. And Perez dives into the pits, so we lose that opportunity. We lose the confidence boost from the overtake as well. There's Perez under pressure from Alonso. Perez's tyres still cold. Gives us an excellent opportunity to get a bit more battery back into George and step up his tyre pace just to make sure he doesn't get dropped.
And happy to pick up the pushing level.
Yeah, copy.
Why did I take the number one thing off for Lewis? I didn't. It's automatic. Lewis never takes the number one. Or are you talking about on my thumbnail? I took it off Lewis because he's no longer the champion. George is now the champion. George won the title last night.
If we could just drop back a bit.
Alright, copy that.
Right, slightly quicker than Max on that last lap. It's not enough. Go very aggressive here with George.
Let's push on hard. Close up to.
You know, 3 cars just sail straight past Perez there. Wow, that's gotta hurt. Can we get Leclerc into the chicane? We can. Now we can get Alonso. And that is going to max George's confidence back out. It's going to get the DRS off Alonso here as well. Beautiful stuff. See if we can break away before the next DRS zone. Alonso might just stay in. Ah, that was close. Couldn't quite drop him. So he's going to drag everybody back towards George here. It is now out of battery. We'll keep pushing the tyres just for another couple of corners. No, Alonso's too close. I'm not going to be able to drop him. Let's drop the pace down. We've got him up to 5th. That's good. We're still chipping away slowly at Max, but he's still 10 seconds back, and I need to think about maybe easing off on the tyres, although he's still okay actually on tyres. Alright, there we go. Let's start recharging the batteries for George then.
5.
Coming.
Leclerc putting some serious pressure onto George here, but he is quick enough to hold him back and still close to Alonso. I don't want him to complete that move. I want him to stay behind. There we go. I want to have the DRS on the back straight.
There seems to be some great lines of resistance.
Let's take a look at the tyres. So looking at Max's tyres, they could go the distance, but the wear rate on those tyres is significantly higher than Leclerc and Perez, who did stop later. And Alonso for that matter as well, so it's not impossible that Max may yet do another stop. And we're into George's kind of pit window,
Charge the pack.
or about to get into his pit window, so we're going to up his tyre pace again. Let's see if we can fight off Alonso here. Right, let's go for it.
Push and hold, overtake.
Try and get onto the back of Sainz. Albon's still with the fastest lap. That will change once George and Lewis box again. The brand new soft. And Lewis is now just outside of his pit window, so we're going to really push his tyres.
Just keep pulling the gap.
Let's do the same now with George.
It's not going to be long down there. Let's push and get past him.
And we are going to break away from Alonso on this lap. As you can see, we're now comfortably out of the 1 second window, and we're already onto the back of sights, which is going to give us the opportunity to rebuild the battery again. And we've left the hard tyre runners behind us. Languishing a couple of seconds back now, that's good. Very defensive driving control there. Going as tight to the line as he can. And George takes the fastest lap. We're definitely on for a double podium tonight. Despite George still being a long way off Lewis, I think he's going to have enough pace on those soft tyres to catch and pass the cars in front. Evening, Anthony. In fact, he just throws it up the inside of sights there. Oh, and Alonso has been left a long way behind. Perez and Leclerc have both pushed and caught back up, and Alonso is now 2 seconds further down on the road on his own. As Perez takes the fastest lap now. And we're not too far away from having finished the fuel saving with George as well.
Awesome job, mate.
So, a fantastic recovery from George to get himself back up to third, although he is about to stop on the next lap or two. Next lap. Does risk getting caught by a couple of cars here. Stroll's going to get him into turn 1. Perez might get him as well, but we've got the inside line. I'll try and keep George in charge mode if at all possible, so that we can have full battery when he comes out of the pits.
And then box.
Yeah, stop.
There we go. George teaching a masterclass in driving. Yeah, it's definitely a champion, a champion drive here. Lewis is now about 9 seconds off the back of Max, who we still don't know if he's going to stop again or not. Could potentially be going to the end on those tyres. It is 19 seconds clear of this battle here. Robocop Rogue City releasing 31st of October. I thought it was going to be releasing early November. I know there's a demo of, I think, the first 3 levels on Steam right now. There are some issues with the game, which have been addressed in a Twitter thread earlier today by the developers. Not read through that yet.
Box.
To this lap.
George peels off into the pits. So, going to need another mighty stint from George to get back up into a podium position here. Good start, 1.86 seconds.
So let's just make sure we keep on top of those tyres. Just keep an eye on your mirrors.
It's in the pre-orders. Well, they must have reworked that then, because when they announced it was being... Oh, that's bad. That's really bad. When they announced the game was being delayed, they said it was going to be to like early November, so they must have revised that down a little bit. Alright, so soft tyres going on for Lewis. Yeah, there we go, 2nd of November. That's what I thought it was going to be, around the 2nd of November. I get the feeling that the October 31st was just a placeholder date.
Warm-up will be challenging. All clear on exit. Yeah, we just need to make sure that we don't fall off a cliff on that tyre.
Understood.
Alright, 15 laps to go. George is 20 seconds almost. Yeah, 18 seconds off the podium right now. But crucially, has fresh tyres, a full battery, and is pretty much ready to stop his fuel savings. So, should be able to really have a crack at this now. Throws it up the inside of Schumacher there. That was a brave move. And he's going to swoop straight past Albon here. There we go. So George back up to very high confidence, just shy of max confidence. Excuse me. Speaking of Max, he is 26.5 seconds ahead of Lewis. Who's now got his tyres up to temperature. We're going to go for an absolute flying lap with Lewis on the next lap. First sector for George.
No management here required.
Understood.
He is hunting down Bottas here. So, just how quickly can we close the gap down to Max? And are we going to be in a position to actually challenge him for the win here? As George sets a new fastest lap, which gets him into peak confidence, which he will max out completely with this overtake on Bottas.
Charge the pack. Just reduce your speed.
Just give him a little bit of fuel saving as well. Lewis is now purple in the first sector. And it's absolutely flying right now. You see, last lap he did a 1:36.8 against Max's 1:38.6. Russell's first fastest lap was a 1:35.6. This is going to be a quicker lap, I think. It is.
You have fastest lap.
1:35.4. 3 seconds faster than Max on that lap. But it's not sustainable, that pace, so we're going to have to ease off.
Need to make sure keep these tyres in good nick.
Yep.
So just charge that pack.
Understood.
Push and hold, overtake. Yeah, copy.
So we want to fly past Bottas here and get straight onto the back of the two Alpines in front. George looking very tight against the wall. Bottas is holding him back. Surely we can get him out of the chicane here on the run up to the start-finish straight. Going left then right. We're almost out of battery again. Bottas must be pushing to try and defend that vigorously.
There seems to be some great loud resistance.
It's the third time this race we've heard that from Russell. Hate that soundbite. And finally George gets the move done. Just goes around the outside. It'll be a bit of an ask to get onto the back of the Alpines, but we'll try before the DRS. Oh yeah, comfortably. All right. Well, we need to rebuild the battery, so let's immediately go into harvest mode. There we go. Lewis is lapping 1.7 seconds faster. It's not enough. Going to increase his tyre pace.
And we'll push.
Yep.
And Russell is just going to swoop past Gasly there. Not really even trying. Ocon up next. Let's see. Just 10.7 seconds off the back of Perez now. Given the pace that Russell has available on these tyres, that is definitely doable. Alonso is up next, 3.5 seconds ahead. There he is. And a little bit more fuel saving out of Lewis, just to be on the safe side.
Lift the coast a little more.
Let's give George a little bit more tyre as well.
Push now.
The remaining 9 laps. So Perez doing a 1:38.7, Russell a 1:38.0 on that last lap. A little bit more pace than that.
And we can drop the lift to coast for now, we'll make it up later.
Might drop off on before the DRS zone here. It's going to be tight. I think he's just going to hang in there. Yeah, he did. doesn't look as though Schumacher is going to get points here after all. He's in a scrap with Albon right now, but they've dropped 11.5 seconds off the back of Bottas. And that little chasing pack there. So unless someone retires and Schumacher can get ahead of Albon, it looks as though it's not going to happen for AlphaTauri here after all. Right, we have now dropped Ocon. Closing in very quickly on the back of Alonso here. Hamilton's got the gap down to 16 seconds. He's 1.2 seconds faster on the last lap. Again, it's not enough to catch and pass. But if we can throw a mighty lap or two out there, we can certainly bring the gap down. And then if Max makes a mistake, or his pace continues to drop off with his tyres getting lower, who knows? He's down to 46% on those tyres. They will go the distance, but the trouble is we're pushing our tyres to close him up, so our pace is going to start to drop as well. As Russell gets the move done on Alonso. Next up is Charles Leclerc, 6 seconds ahead. I'm going to really push George's tyres here. Give him a little bit of extra fuel as well. That 5.5 second gap that we have is to the podium, basically. And we've got 7 laps to do it. We'll catch them quickly enough, but then we've got 4 cars to pass. And we're going to drag Alonso into the fight as well by the look of it. Now 15 seconds for Lewis.
So head down.
Let's just manage these tyres.
So should be 6 laps.
Understood.
Alright, the gap is just 3.5 seconds. There's a mighty lap from George. A 1:36.9. Fastest man on the track last lap. Just fractionally faster than Lewis. He took 2.5 seconds out of Max. We took... sorry, 1.5 seconds out of Max. We took 2.5 seconds out of Leclerc on that last lap.
Just have a think about getting the pack back up.
So saving what little battery George has got left until we actually get onto the back of these guys, so we can use it to get the overtakes done.
So we're low on battery at the moment. Yeah, we just need to make sure that we don't fall off a cliff on that time. Five laps.
2.5 seconds now. Under 2.5 seconds. Yeah, I think Lewis is going to have to settle for second. We may as well give him all the tyre that's left.
We're not worried about using the tyres up.
Understood.
I'll do the same with George.
Let's push on hard, close up to.
So given the nature of this circuit and just how much of it is flat out, I think this is one of those circuits where taking fuel out is probably the wrong decision. If anything, maybe throw an extra litre of fuel in. Make you a little sluggish off the line. But being able to push the fuel, or even if you just don't take any fuel out but don't put the extra in, just start at the normal level of fuel, it will allow you to push hard to get your fuel down by a couple of kilos and then build it back up again in the middle stint. If you do the two-stop strategy, I think it's definitely going to be the way to go.
Charge the pack. Just reduce your speed.
And 3 laps remaining.
Lewis has got the gap down to single digits now, just 9.5 seconds, but unless Max makes some kind of error, too big a gap to close down. Well, George is right on the back of the two Ferraris. Stroll and Perez are all right there. Squeezing a bit more battery in the car, we will have a lunge. At the end of the strip, I hope.
There seems to be some great resistance.
Ah, shut up, George. I'm fed up of hearing that sound like.
Let's push and get past him.
Yeah, it's ticking over with FS22, just, finding my feet again.
Two laps remaining.
Right, here we go. Need a mighty moment from George now. We'll ride Russell Vision as he makes a move on Charles Leclerc. Two laps left.
And think about left lift and coast. Use the overtake.
Yep.
Just have some PU cooling.
Oh, that's a brave move. But he gets Sainz. And he's out of battery. Ah, nuts. There we go, completes the move. Just try and save a little bit of extra battery for the end of the lap if we can. Lewis has got the gap down to 5.7 seconds, 5.5 seconds. It's just not close enough. He's out of battery as well.
Just need to stay on top of the lift and coast. Okay.
Push and hold and overtake.
Come on, George, be brave here under braking. Gets up the inside of Perez, and now he's going to have a clean run at Stroll.
Just cool the car.
So we have taken the flag, Nicholas, so that's P2.
Great work, guys.
Oh, the Stroll just threw the car across the track there and says, "Get lost, Perez." There's a sprint to the flag. George hasn't got any battery left. Can he hold on? He can by just under a tenth of a second, 95 thousandths of a second, but we do get the double podium in the end. What a comeback from George. A long way off, but with a damaged front wing as well. Minor, very minor damage, so it didn't have a massive impact on his performance. But yeah, what a great drive from George there. Now what I did to move out of the way of Russell in a nice safe spot on lap 2, because I knew they were running a different strategy and I wanted Lewis to get straight onto the back of Max as quickly as possible. And George proceeded to put it in the wall. And dropped all the way to the back of the grid. But yeah, we pulled that off. A lot of work, but it was a very satisfying result in the end.
Wow, what a fantastic drive from Lewis Hamilton.
That's a well-earned result. From the factory and on the pit wall, that's a podium for the whole team.
Oh, that's a wonderful scene. The team getting their first chance to congratulate their driver on a job well done. The highly decorated record breaker from Stevenage once again taking to the podium.
And that's excellent, seeing both the team's drivers up there on the podium together.
And there's not much that rivals the Las Vegas Grand Prix when it comes to the podium presentation. And as proceedings start to wind down here, what will Mercedes have made of this result, Karun?
Well, they'll be so proud to have had both drivers on the podium. They're certainly doing something right.
Well, everyone, that's all from us here in Las Vegas.
Formula One has almost reached its conclusion this year. Meet us next time in Abu Dhabi, between the desert and the sea, for an enthralling finale.
Again then, confirmation of the final results. Max takes the win from Lewis and then George. Lewis in second does get the fastest lap, so he will add that one to his collection. good finish for Stroll, getting ahead of Perez for 4th place. Perez in 5th. Both Ferraris in the top 7. That's something we haven't seen for a while. And Alonso dropping down to 8th place in the end. It was in 4 places. Good recovery drive from both of the Alpines. Gasly gaining 9 places in the Grand Prix from 18th to 9th. Ocon up from 14th to 10th. So a few more points for Alpine there. That battle between Ferrari and Aston is continuing. Bottas misses out on points only just. He was just less than 3/10 behind Ocon in the end, but unable to score that extra point that he's been chasing. Schumacher had an opportunity at one stage, but with Bottas hanging on to the back of the Alpines and no safety cars of any kind either, the gap just grew and he was unable to get clear once he'd finally broken away from Albon. Norris fighting back to hold position, having dropped down a little bit earlier on. Bad race for Alex, losing 5 places. And there we see the remainder of the grid there. Let's take a look at the Drivers' Championship. George, already the champion, has 12 wins under his belt with 3 sprint wins, 6 poles, 9 fastest laps. Lewis in 2nd, 1 extra fastest lap, and more pole positions, but only 5 race wins this season. Max's 25 points pretty much confirm him now as the driver who's going to finish 3rd in the championship. He is 33 points ahead of Perez, so that is more than Perez can earn in the next race. Only 26 points available for the win and the fastest lap. So Max is confirmed in 3rd in the Drivers' Championship. Perez confirmed in 4th. Still up in the air though for 5th. Lance Stroll jumping ahead of Charles Leclerc by 5 points. So that could be an interesting little fight between those two going into Abu Dhabi. Alonso in 7th, Ocon in 8th, Sainz in 9th, continuing his recovery after a disappointing 3/4 of the season, really. And he is now just 5 points off the back of Ocon. So we shall see how that goes. We might see Carlos actually be able to jump the Alpine there. A couple more points for Gasly. And then it's as you were for everyone below. No one scoring any additional points. And still no points for either AlphaTauri driver. In the Constructors' Championship, dominant for Mercedes, dominant for Red Bull, and Aston Martin now 23 points clear of Ferrari. It's looking like Aston are going to hang on and take 3rd in the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari looks set for 4th place. Then Alpine in 5th place, 3 more points. They are not going to catch Ferrari. They're not going to get caught by McLaren. They are confirmed in 5th place, and it's pretty much as you were, I think, for these teams as well. I don't think anyone is going to score a significant number of points to have any real impact there. McLaren can't be caught by Williams. Let's face it, there's no way Williams are going to score more than 30 points in one race. So McLaren are going to finish in 6th. Williams are going to finish in 7th. Haas are going to finish in 8th. Alfa Romeo are going to finish 9th, barring an absolute miracle. And AlphaTauri, can they score a point in the final Grand Prix? Let's see how that goes. But don't forget, you have the choice as to who we are going to join next season. AlphaTauri are one of the options, as are McLaren and Ferrari. That vote is up on the community tab of my YouTube page. Went live earlier today. You've got until Monday evening to cast your vote if you haven't done so already, and that will determine which of those 3 teams will be joining next season. Looking at the fastest pit stops, we had the 2 fastest stops with Lewis and George. Then Alpine were in 3rd, ahead of Leclerc, then Gasly, and then Sainz, and no sign of Aston Martin anywhere on that. Only one Red Bull made it in there. Zhou getting some points, as more points for AlphaTauri, and Williams getting a point as well. Let's see what that does to the standings. Ferrari do jump McLaren, who also did not score any points here. So 12-point lead for Ferrari going into the final Grand Prix. They look like they might finish third in this competition. Alpine are a long way behind McLaren, so they're locked into fifth. Aston Martin probably locked into sixth. AlphaTauri probably going to outscore Alfa Romeo, but you never know, anything could happen. And then there is still a chance for Haas to finish in ninth, but it's unlikely. These are the fastest stops. It was Lewis with the fastest stop, George with the second fastest stop, and Lewis with the third fastest stop. All very, very close. And then let's have a look at the driver stats. So 28 overtakes for George, 17 failed, 18 successful defences and 15 failed. Very busy boy today. And for Lewis, not so busy. Chasing down Max. Had the pace at the end, just ran out of time. But 2 successful overtakes, 6 failed. And then 3 successful defences and 2 failed. So much quieter afternoon for him, but a strong second place. And the also ran trophy, as Farah calls it. And we've got a little bit more practice in with Teo as well, who will be taking over for Lewis at the end of the season. Sponsorship wise, we paid out 25 grand to George for his top 3 finish bonus. And we gained 4.9 million in sponsors. We failed nothing here, which is nice. Passed all of the incentives and the guarantees, so that adds another 4.9 mil into the bank. So just one race to go in 4 days' time. That'll be tomorrow night's Grand Prix, which we will be starting early tomorrow, assuming I don't oversleep again. So that we can do the end of season stuff as well after the stream. So let's get prepped up for that. Let's take a look. Another cost cap warning email. We're going to keep getting those on a very regular basis. Did any parts fail? Yes, underfloor failed and the rear wing failed as well. Plus we destroyed the last good front wing that we had. So let's go and fix the cars up. George is now on the lowest spec front wing, and is now also on the same underfloor that Lewis is running. And then rear wing needs to be swapped out. There we go. So both cars running the Mark II rear wing with 1 spare. Okay, cars are built and ready for the next race. Does anything need a refurb? Not yet. Getting ever closer to these things breaking. Not quite there yet. Another cost cap warning email. Piss off. I'm sick of seeing these emails now. CFD Simulator refurb is complete, so that will be ready in time for Mercedes to build next season's car. And there we go. So another great race tonight. And we are all set for the final race of the season and our final race with Mercedes, which will take place tomorrow starting at 8 PM UK time, an hour earlier than normal. So I hope you've enjoyed tonight's race. If you have, consider dropping a like, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to consider subscribing as well. It'll give you notifications as to when I go live, and will allow you to participate in the chat and polls and things like that as well. So thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with some more F1 Manager very soon.